everybody else who loved it. I compared to Nicholas Sparks because I wanted to cry, but at the same time it was like, you understood the characters, I liked the characters, you want to see what happened, and you want the best for it, and that's hard to do. So, can you give us a little synopsis of it?
Yeah, I will. The main character in the story is Andrew Calloway. So Andrew, everything kind of just going the right way for him at the beginning of the book. He has a real estate firm that's doing well. He's engaged to a lady named Meredith Hastings. She's a banker. And so they're getting really close to their wedding date. It's a couple weeks out. And she goes down to Florida. That's where they're going to get married. They live in New Bern, North Carolina. And when she goes down to Florida, he happens into a woman he had met in the past and had some interest in. And so then that kind of stirs things up. There's an email that ends up coming out that is from Meredith that causes Andrew to question whether he should be getting married, and things all just kind of spiral from there.
People can be mean.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So have you ever had anything like that happen to you, or?
No, this is totally fiction. There's nothing from the story.
Because I have.
There's a lot of life experiences, I'm sure, that are dashed here and there.
Yeah. I had one author that said he wrote overnight. He was going through a bad divorce, and he was just like in through that place, and he was up all night through the night, and he wrote a book. The book's fantastic. He doesn't remember writing it.
Wow.
Do you have any similar experiences like that?
No, not really to that.
No. But
I mean,
do you find yourself getting into such character that you can't live your life? Or not?
It doesn't cause me to not live my life, but I do, when I'm writing, I just get really focused, and so I try not to answer phone calls or deal with people because I'm kind of like in this zone, and it puts me in a different mood, so I'll be jumping to the mood right that comes in. So I really do
read
get
a book
into
and I get like that, so I totally understand that.
Yeah. So you just
Please stop talking to me.
Yeah, you get into the character and the emotion of the story. So
yeah.
It's really neat to kind of get away.
Do you work full time in your life, or?
I do.
Yeah.
I work full time in marketing. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to have a flexible job, so typically what I do when I was writing this book, I try to set aside a couple of days a week to just focus on writing and nothing else. Like I said, I've got to sit down, zone in. I can't just do it for 30 minutes here and then 30 minutes later do this and jump back and forth. Yeah. So that's what I try to do, and on the weekends when I wasn't working, I also jump back and forth between full time and the book.
I gotta give it to you. It's amazing that you do that. The characters are well written and it flows, and you're waiting on the edge of your seat, and you're just holding on to the character. It's really good. Are there people that you read that you model yourself after?
Nicholas Sparks was a writer that I enjoyed. He was actually, The Notebook was his first novel, and I read that book. That was the first book I read, fiction book, as an adult. And I kind of read that book and said, hey, this is really cool how you can jump into these people's lives. And I always thought, or as I read that, I thought I would like to be able to do this, because I knew I liked to write creatively, but I never imagined writing a book. When I finished that book, that's kind of when I started thinking, I'm going to try this, and let's give it a shot and see what it does.
So you wrote, I was talking to you earlier, and you wrote this book 10 years ago? 12 years ago?
It was about 12 years ago I wrote the book. It took me about a year to write it, and after that I just kind of put it down. I tinkered with it off and on, and here it is now, 12 years later, finally.
Do you see yourself in any of the characters?
I think so. Here and there. I wouldn't say any one character is me, but I think you do kind of pull from your own life and the experiences that you've had and put that probably a little bit into all the characters. So yeah, definitely somewhat.
I kind of blew a little bit. I was asking your wife if you're very romantic, and she said yes.
Yes, of course.
You had a jet flying over with like, "You marry me," but do you? I mean, you're very emotional, it seems, from writing the book. And do you do things like that, or you just think of them when you have spare time to do that, or?
I think that I do. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I try to do the little things, the thoughtful things that she would enjoy. So hopefully I do a good job of that. I have to get her input on that to make sure.
I've had people who have been in relationships based on false images, like with this one. Like you weren't sure, like, was a girlfriend lying, was a mother lying, what was going on? Have you ever like been to a wedding and you're like crying, and Have you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think